That's how it was going to go. What is, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge. For your Denver Nuggets. Streaking. We have ourselves a streak, officially 3 in a row. We are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. How are we doing our bets tonight?
Well, we did our thing.
We did our thing?
No, yeah, we did our thing.
I know my triple-double bet hit. I was waiting for that one. We're also in the Toyota Winners Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Nuggets get the win against the Pelicans, 125-113. Can you guys believe we were nervous at one point?
You were nervous? Game? Can I believe you were nervous?
Yeah, you can believe it.
And I can believe it.
I can believe it.
When it was a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter and Jokic was out, I was nervous.
Yeah, but you know what?
Until I wasn't.
Nuggets did their thing, got themselves a win. Zeke Nnaji showcase game. Michael Porter goes off. So much to talk about. Brent Vogt's in the building.
Man, listen, I know these guys, they make a lot of money, right? So sympathy isn't always good for Zeke Nnaji, man. Good for Zeke Nnaji.
Yeah.
That's a basketball player, man. The contract's nice, but he wants to be out there hooping with the fellas. Zeke
he was
Nnaji,
hooping tonight.
One of the fellas tonight. What a treat.
One of the fellas indeed. Another fella, D-Line Co's in the building.
So we all watch the game together every night, as you know. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. The great part about watching the game with the fellas is that their agendas rise to the top every now and again. Like, for example, Brendan Vogt looked like he was going to die until Michael Porter Jr. started scoring. And then when Jalen Pickett got a wide open layup underneath the basket and he smoked it, Adam has screamed louder than I've ever heard him in his entire life.
He was fouled. He was fouled, man. He was fouled.
He was fouled.
He was fouled. He got him on the arm. Nobody saw it.
Cinema.
Rounding out the show, Superstar Dev.
There's just something about watching that team when they're clicking and doing well. That just, it feels good. It feels fun. That was a fun game.
The 12-38 Pelicans, no match for your Denver Nuggets, shorthanded though they may be. Nuggets took care of business. Let's do a fast breakdown. It's really fast. I didn't take a lot of notes tonight.
Why?
Well,
because
computer was on the fritz a little bit.
The other thing that happened is I dumped soda on Adam's computer under 1 minute into the game.
We're hoping it works. At the moment, the number 9 keeps getting texted, and I can't stop it.
I have the first note. I have the first note. First 15 seconds of game action. Eric spills on Adam's computer. Nuggets get beat on the first drive of the game. Zeke commits a foul.
Oh yeah,
that's your first 16 seconds of real time.
My computer is just typing number 9, and I can't stop it.
It really is like the Beatles.
Oh god.
Number 9.
Oh, this
number
is rough.
9.
I'm gonna try to read these while my computer's typing. I really can't do it. Zeke's immediately 2 fouls. Took a while for Nuggets to find a groove, but eventually they did. 32.
This is so funny. I'm eating the dog right now. 9 through
Everyone, 9's in the chat. 9's in the chat.
He won't stop, but I don't know what to do. I can't read my notes. 32-23 Nuggets after 1. Second quarter, bench coughed it up a little bit. Jokic came back in, and they started rolling. I told you these notes are not that great. But then Jamal Murray and MPJ were cooking. MPJ was kind of cooking, not from those first 4 minutes, you're right. Those are rough. But he was cooking in the first. He was cooking in the second. Murray got it going a little bit, too. And then, third quarter, Trey Murphy. Have yourself a game. A graduate of my guys, class of 2023.
Holy smokes, dude.
Was going absolutely off. Third game in a row for him, and he was cooking, especially in that third quarter. My next note, Trey Murphy is dope. Nuggets lost their mojo in the third quarter, though. That's what really happened. The Nuggets were getting fast breaks. Third quarter, they got 0. Nuggets were getting stops. They gave up 30. So third quarter, Nuggets completely lost themselves. Murray picked up his 4th foul right before the final buzzer, and the Pels just scored too easy. It was 93-84. But to start the game, the fourth quarter, put it away in the first 2 possessions. Michael Porter 3, Julian Strawther 3, and it was like, all right, back up to 15. Nuggets played with the game a little bit. It was 8 when Jokic checked back in, but it was never really close. Nuggets closed the door, executing down the stretch, playing some defense. All right. Superstar Dev, start us out with your Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway.
I got to be calm. I really have to be calm after just beating the Pelicans. I don't care if there was an injury and things like that.
They're in the NBA.
This team, they needed some juice. They needed something fresh. They needed something new. You know what they inserted in the starting lineup? Hit it, Kel! Fire it up! They needed Zeke Nnaji, baby. Zeke Nnaji. I'm talking about a defender. I'm talking about lockdown defense.
Yeah.
He went against Zeke. He went against Zion.
Yes, he did.
You're talking about nines going across your screen. What about putting 5 ish? That's what I'm talking about. 30 minutes from our boy. 2 of 4 from deep, knocking down the threes. He overcame foul troubles. They just needed somebody. I was getting text messages in this game where they were saying, maybe we didn't give Zeke a fair chance.
Maybe we didn't.
That's just how good he was playing. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Zeke Nnaji.
Zion is a tough matchup. Like, that's the type of guy in theory. If we rewind the clock to what our hopes and dreams were on draft night, it was, hey, he can guard the Zions of the world. He's a big body. He can move out on the perimeter. That's the kind of guy. Tonight, he did that, man. Zion had a horrible game.
Horrible.
Shut down by Zeke the Freak.
Shut down.
That's
He
a real
also
one.
just kind of stinks.
He has a little bit of that too. Altitude, it's tough. It's a good first takeaway. What about you,
It was a
D-Line?
great first takeaway. My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that I think all the Nuggets are good, dude. I think they're all good. I think that we actually saw every Nugget, and every Nugget was indeed good this night. It's crazy. It's crazy that Zeke playing the 4 means that he's actually that good again. It's crazy that Michael Porter Jr. just needs to have a little. I don't know what's happening. There's a power going over here.
You'll find it out.
All the Nuggets are good, man. When the Nuggets are rolling, that was a professional win, was it not? They got out ahead. They drooped a little bit, but in the end, they overcame a 5-point trip down the court, courtesy of Zeke Nnaji. But in the end, this was never close, and it never should have been close. They took care of business, and it's what you love to see.
What was the line coming in, Dev? Do you remember off the top of your head? Game line?
10.
It was 10. They got 12. So you're right. Beat the spread. Workman-like.
Very
I don't know
professional.
that it was impressive win, but it was, to your point, took care of business, never really sweated it win, which is all you can ask for. What about you, Vogt?
I'm going to say that I think for this game tonight, I think the Nuggets actually benefited from the rotation they ended up running out there. I think I said in the pregame show, sometimes, especially with this Nuggets team against an opponent like this, missing the players that they are,
Yeah.
you just don't play very hard. And what I was hopeful for in the pregame show was that Zeke Nnaji would play his tail off. Hunter Tyson, when he checked in, would just play hard. Now, we didn't see much of him, but that's kind of what you got. Jalen Pickett and Zeke Nnaji hustling, playing defense, committed to the little things. Because for them, man, every minute is an opportunity. It's a showcase, whether that be for other teams or for their own coaching staff. And so sometimes that's what happens. The other team is chock full of guys trying to make statements coming in. And I think tonight maybe Denver got a little juice from the guys who came in and felt the need to play their tails off.
I like that one. And mine's along those same lines. I can't believe you didn't go Michael Porter route, but
I know, what the
I don't
age?
want to listen. I don't want to be too predictable.
yeah, you got lots of takes.
Why is tonight the night?
Not tonight, you guys.
No, I'm just saving it for the game ball section.
All right, there you go. Save it. You know what? Smart move. Save it for a little bit later. I like it. My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway, not dissimilar to yours too much, but I love when Jokic gets triple doubles. I love when he goes off scoring. I like when Jamal goes off. But if I had my pick,
My druthers.
what?
If I had my druthers. That's the expression, right?
It's not. It's not codified to where it's the official saying in that instance.
So I'm just making stuff up.
Well, no, but it means if
If you had your pick.
If I had my pick of how these upcoming games against, non-playoff teams, Nuggets got a lot of these on the schedule.
Googling that.
If I had my pick of how they would go a lot like tonight. Julian Strawther played really well. We need to see him kind of get some momentum. Zeke Nnaji played well. I want to see him. You got guys out of the lineup. It's nice when guys can fill in and kind of show that they have some talents. Michael Porter got himself going. Yes, Jokic had a triple-double, was a monster, did everything, we always love from him. But I love that in a game when you're missing some guys and other guys have to step in, you got contributions from those guys in a way that reminds you, oh yeah, these guys are NBA players. And I've long said with Zeke Nnaji, it's not like some people are like, you're the big Zeke Nnaji believer. It isn't about that. My take always is, if you make it to the NBA, odds are you have something you can do well. And when a guy plays as poorly as Zeke Nnaji has for the last 2-3 years, whatever it's been, it'll go like, man, something else is going on. He gets an opportunity tonight. He goes out there and he shows you, yes, he can move his feet defensively, played with intensity, and he even hit a couple threes. I love to see it. And at this point in the season with so many out, I hope we get 5, 6, 7 more games like this where new guys come in and get to showcase what they've got.
This was truly a showcase game. Like, you talk about, this guy was picking up DMPs, like just not in the rotation, not playing at all. And then he gets 30 minutes with foul trouble very early. He picked up 2 fouls like super quick, and they're like, we're going to give him a chance. And truly, I think that this is what this league is about. You talk about having a niche or something that you're just exceptional at to be, in the league. He got an opportunity, a golden opportunity. You get to play alongside Jokic. You get to go back to the 4, which is your natural spot, play 30 minutes. The opportunity was there, and he took the most of it. Very efficient. What if he was a great rebounder? What if he was a great rebounder? He'll be playing a lot more minutes in these games, but like, it was great to see them have a guy that they could go to on the bench, going through, trying to figure out who it is that they have. And they're like, okay, we're going to give Zeke Nnaji a chance, and he's going to show up.
Yeah.
Dude, it is wild to just see somebody get confidence.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
That's the thing.
it
man.
was
It's
not.
what
It
it
wasn't
is.
that long ago that we were saying like Zeke has been good. Like, he looks confident. Like,
It was
when he
long
gets,
ago,
it
but I
was.
hear what you're saying.
It was actually a while ago. It actually was a while ago. It
not
wasn't like geological time. It wasn't that long
Yeah,
ago.
it's like if you
But in dog years,
it was forever.
listen, man. The Earth is very old. All right,
Yeah.
it's very old. I think.
The universe even older than that.
I googled it. It's pretty old.
I know. By the way, druthers is like folksy for I'd rather. I'd rather. I'd rather have my.
That's not what I
Anyway,
saw when I looked it up. But that's right. Listen. We're here to talk hoops.
but it's not it's just simply not unfathomable that Zeke is like a competent player. He's shown it. Like, it is Zeke, it is Vlatko, there's a bunch of guys that like have gotten their moment. We talked about this in the pregame.
And when did Vlad go back?
They get your moment. You show out, you get hurt, and you never get it back. And Zeke now, he's like fallen into the realm of being a meme or a joke or a punchline, mostly from us. We can't help it. I mean, like, but that guy can play. He can play. He can play. And like, when he has a little confidence, knocking down threes, like,
That's all you really need from him, honestly, is defense and the 3-point shot. I'm not counting on this guy to be able to put the ball on the floor, even rebounding, to your point. I'm not even counting on that. Passing, playing the dunker and finishing over guys. I'm not counting any of that. Can he move his feet defensively tonight? He did that against a tough matchup in Zion. And can you knock down a 3 or 2 when you're out there? And he had 2 of them tonight. It's honestly as simple as that for me, and it was nice to see that he had that.
And it's really simple as played alongside Jokic instead of Jokic.
That
it
part
just never
actually.
happens.
And
It
it's-
never happens.
Look, first of all, not only is he, this one's for the chat because they say it every time. Not only is he not a 5, that's for you, Eric. That's for you, the chat. He's a 4.
He's not
but how
a
about
5.
4 next to Jokic as opposed to DeAndre Jordan or Dario Saric? And lo and behold, maybe a little more value there than we thought. I mean, look, the trick with Zeke is you can actually remember a couple of encouraging stretches, but the rug gets pulled out every time by some kind of injury or something. And so can he find a way to keep it going here in this extended opportunity with AG and Peyton kind of nursing their injuries? But confidence can go a long way for a player. And, it's the case with both Pickett and Zeke. These guys were not scrubs in college, man. They weren't. Right. And there's something to the fact everyone that comes through this organization is the best version of themselves next to Jokic and maybe the worst version of themselves without him.
Is this the Zeke Nnaji game? What did he finish with? Does anybody have the stats handy?
He had one Lakers game, man.
Yeah,
like
12
5
points, 5 rebounds. This was not the game.
Okay. Well, so far it might be the Zeke Nnaji game.
This year.
Zeke has one buried in the archive. There's a 17-point game against the Lakers where he was really good.
Really? Against
And
the
that-
Lakers?
I
That's
still
gotta be
cling
it.
to that one every now and then, like a ledge, you know?
In all sincerity, one more game before the All-Star break. Who knows? He's obvious. I mean, if he has 2 good games in a row, Nuggets will trade him if they can. But you know what? Good for him. I hope that happens. I hope he gets another opportunity. Hope Zion's watching this and going, oh, you think he shut me down? Give him a real test on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Let's take our first break. On the other side, we'll get into finally Michael Porter, who also went off tonight.
Did he play tonight?
He had a good one.
Schedule.
How about Breckenridge Brewery, the official craft beer of DNVR? If you're familiar with DNVR, then you know they've been longtime partners of ours, longtime friends of ours, as we went on this endeavor long ago to build something local, build some local community. And what a great partnership, because Breckenridge Brewery, man, they are local, they are Colorado, and they're trying to get you in Ball Arena with a pretty sweet get-up. Talking about the Breck Brew Ice Deck giveaway, 2 VIP tickets on the glass, complimentary food and drink. This is March 28th versus St. Louis for the Avs. Go to breckbrew.com/ice deck to enter. The link will be in our show notes as well. While you're at breckbrew.com, look for the beer locator. Try to find out where you can buy the Ridge Runner, their new West Coast style IPA. Sleek looking can, delicious beer. Breckenridge Brewery, they know what they're doing when it comes to the craft beers for sure. And man, watching Zeke play tonight, fellas, future was so bright. I wish I had my Shady Rays. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Get ready for the season ahead. Don't know if you noticed, guys, got a little sunny today. Got a little warm
Bro,
today.
it was great. I had my glasses on a lot today.
It was glorious, man.
Went for a little walk.
You can get them now.
Got a lot of
Whoa.
sun, man. I
Get
got
them
some
now if you
sun.
want to. Get ready for the season ahead or the season now with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that will not break the bank. They have hundreds of options to choose from. You're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. They probably have a style in your favorite team's colors. That's pretty neat. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Is that how you do it?
I don't know. I know this is 5, but then 300,000 was kind of hard.
Hands look really
That's
big in
beautiful.
the camera, don't they?
That was
They do.
beautiful.
They look
You
like,
just-
what
I
is
mean,
that,
listen,
Pan's
man.
Labyrinth with the guy with the,
Yes.
the eyes on his head?
Yes.
Pretty good movie. Pretty good one. I remember that one. It's a pretty good one. All right, Michael Porter Jr. tonight, to
What
me,
about him?
really might have been the standout. Him making threes, man, it really is a difference maker for the Nuggets. You could actually argue that this game, the real difference was that Michael Porter made a bunch of threes. How many do you have tonight? 6?
7.
7.
7 threes?
One off
Which
his-
is-
No, I think he had 8.
No, he had one. Listen, I may know this off the top of my head. He had one. He was one off his career high, which is 8 makes. He was also coincidentally 3 points off his career high, which is 39 points. He did both of those against Houston the first real year he was playing.
What's funny is my bold prediction, I think 2 years in a row, is that MPJ will make 10 threes. It feels impossible. And I don't know why.
I'm
Because it's a
telling
lot
you,
of threes.
Yeah, but like not great players have 10 threes. Dylan Brooks has a game with 10 threes.
Dang.
it actually is kind of crazy that Mike's career high is
Dang.
8. It does feel like he's a guy who should have done
He
this.
should have
more.
like 15, I feel, but tonight he was great, man, knocking him down.
I will say this. Tonight was confirmation for me. He's never scoring 40 points in Denver. It's never happened.
It might happen. It might happen.
No, all jokes aside, man. I mean, he was the answer to Trey Murphy. I saw a great comment earlier that was more like a Trey and Mike kind of did a "you stay out of my way, I'll stay out of your way" thing tonight. But look, Denver needed it. They could not hit threes tonight outside of Mike. He was really confident. And look, man, Mike, we've appreciated the way he's grown as a player and the all-around stuff. But it is about the 3-point shot, and when he's hitting it, everything about his game kind of jumps up 5 to 10%. He's just more engaged. And when he's confident like that, then the ISO defense gets better. His head's in the game, and he just makes smarter plays. So it's nice to see all the little flashes of growth here and there from Porter, but it's about the 3-point shot. And when it goes in, it does feel like this team, has a little more firepower for sure.
Everything about Michael Porter Jr.'s like big games is like a mental thing. And this is a game that like just showed me it's not the fact that it's just like Jamal is out. He just goes into a different person when he feels he's needed a little bit more.
Well said, yeah.
Like they have Aaron Gordon out. They have Russell Westbrook out. He's like, okay, they're going to need me to take, more shots. It's not the fact that he's making the threes. This was a game that he took the threes. He took 12 threes in this one. So, like, he's getting more shots up. He became a specialist in a way of like, okay, no one else is shooting the 3 ball. This is a night that I can do that. And that's when he's at his best. 22 shots never happened. So you
I know,
talk
it's
about
kinda
that,
nice.
like maybe not scoring the 40 points. Maybe like it finally clicks that, you know what, I probably have a chance of scoring and doing what I want if I took more shots.
Yeah.
Like maybe that gets closer to him because he
Mike
has
le-
these monster games when he's getting the volume.
He led the Nuggets in shots tonight. That
Yeah.
is
It wasn't close.
the
And to
rarest.
Jeff's point, I mean, they went to him early. He
Yeah.
missed a bunch.
Yeah.
They stuck with him. He stuck with it. That's pretty rare for this team and for him. So, look, the truth is, no one wants to see this team become a Michael Porter Jr. led team. That's not the goal. But I think everyone feels like there's got to be more meat left on that bone. And so, games like this, you know, he's not going to do this consistently, but it does it's a nice reminder game for Michael Porter Jr. that he's more than just a 16 and 10 guy sometimes.
This one felt a little bit different because Michael Porter Jr. is a different type of shooter. Everyone else, they pass it, you know, to their open guy and he shoots it. This was a game that is just nothing but DHOs. Like they set
Yeah, there
a
was a
lot
lot.
of plays for him to grab it and then shoot it. Like it looks different how he's shooting, and maybe that's why his attempts are not as high as, you know, other primary shooters in this league. But maybe that's something that they can incorporate in like their offense. Like, okay, we're going to try to add a little bit more of getting him some shots up. So I like that they ran those type of plays of we're going to get him to shoot threes.
D-Line, Vogt had a good, we were talking up here right before you guys came up. Do you remember that Mike, we always talk about him coming back from All-Star break. He had to go get sun. He had to go to Cabo and get some
Michael
sun.
Photosynthesis Jr.
Michael Photosynthesis Jr.
All-timer.
comes back. And so as his point was, you know, he can go through a lull right before this, and then he gets a break. And he comes. It's kind of encouraging that he's having good games right before the All-Star break
is.
in a weird way.
I mean, maybe Atlanta watched this game. I don't know. Zeke and Mike just go off.
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying. It's cool.
Kale, do it. Do it, Kale. Do it, Kale.
Kale, what is it?
Do it.
Oh, here we have a report from Harrison Wind. Michael Malone asked about how do you approach Michael Porter being in this trade rumors, and Michael Malone says, we're not trading Michael Porter.
Well, unfortunately,
No
he's
coach
not.
has ever lied.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
He's part of those decisions.
Ask Jason Kidd 3 days ago if they're trading.
Can you imagine if somebody asked Jason Kidd, like, are you guys considering trading Luka?
He's like, no, we're not trading Luka.
What do you think? We're
He probably would
crazy?
ask you like, "That's the dumbest question." Like, are you getting paid for this?
No, listen, man. Nothing better than when your guys step up. Your team is your team. What a beautiful night! To see both of those guys playing with confidence and just knocking it down. I mean, we do this like every fifth. Like, I would love to see these come against physical teams,
Yeah,
like
of course.
real teams.
That's a good point.
They, like
Yeah, this was the opposite of a physical team.
This
really.
was this was just kind of a fun practice game in a lot of ways. But all the same, it's good to see it happen. It's good to get confidence from it. Confidence. That's the word of the year. Michael Porter Jr. needs it. Zeke Nnaji needs it. Michael Porter Jr. is so divinely talented that when it's going well for him, it just seems like it is never not going to go badly again.
I listened to the only 10 words that I seen was after the game they interviewed Michael Porter Jr. He said that besides him, Zeke Nnaji is the hardest working guy on the team.
Really?
That's what he said.
Besides him.
Besides himself, he made sure to tell us that he works.
Mike has
hardest.
actually said that a lot. He's also said it about Jokic, that Jokic, besides him, the hardest worker.
They say
But
that
that's-
everyone except for Jamal.
Look, Michael Malone had that picture of Zeke Nnaji in the weight room. Remember? That was like, this is what you could do if you spend a summer in the weight room. You could be like Zeke.
Can you imagine? Everyone's like, I'm not going to the goddamn weight room. I'm trying to play.
I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not going to make the joke.
Jamal Murray, I don't think he shot 50% tonight. I still like the way he looks, man. He looks like the old Jamal. He's got a little pep in his step. His mid-range game is looking nice. There's still some good things out of Jamal. I mean, this is a big enough sample size that I just kind of expected out of him. But with Russ being out of the lineup for the foreseeable future, I am kind of excited to see Jamal get his old mojo back in the two-man game, and we saw a lot of that tonight.
We did. I also like this kind of downshifty speed Jamal's playing at right now at the rim, where it's I guess really most of his career he's been more crafty than blow past you, but these kind of little Euro stomp kind of high off the glass layups he keeps hitting. And tonight I like the way that he
put too much sauce on that one,
on
right,
that one,
right over the backboard.
I liked because Jamal can be, when he's really in shape too, can be such a physical guard with great footwork. And tonight is like it's like Alvarado, and I just like the possessions where he was like, "Man, I'm just going to power through you." And there was also some good playmaking. I honestly kind of have liked this complementary, supplemental version of Jamal we've seen the last month. Obviously, he had a couple of big performances himself, but there's something about the way that he's kind of filling in gaps right now that's working for me.
20 and 8, by the way, 8 assists too, right? 20 and 8 that's good, scoring
good,
and
good
assisting.
point guard
That's
play.
good balance.
Yeah, he looks great right now. He really, and what I loved about tonight is that he wasn't looking for a shot at all. And he was really letting the game come to him. He was really trying to get Mike involved. He was really trying to get Christian involved. He was he was just kind of trying to do the right thing. And then later on, if the shot presented itself, he would take it. And over the last 2 games, Jamal's layup package that has been on display has been so impressive.
He's got probably a top 10 layup package in the NBA.
He really is and he's putting it on display. It's great. You never want to feel like a team is too dependent on a single player. Even the Nuggets, you don't want to feel like if Jokic isn't getting it done,
you don't want to feel like that.
You don't want to feel like, even though it's very clearly the truth. But I mean, for a little bit there, it felt like the Nuggets were relying on Jamal, which is the last thing on earth you want to do. But you just want these games against the Pelicans, against just a crummy NBA opponents, to just figure out what you're doing, learn about yourself in a win, as opposed to trying to figure out what went wrong in a loss. And so, it's just another step forward. Again, it's you can't pull too much from it because, again, the lineup was not what it would typically be, but it is nice to see that things can work pretty seamlessly if you have to slot in other players. So it was great. I loved what Jamal did.
I like the balance that he has right now. Early on in games, he's trying to get other people involved where he's not trying to score as much. And then, of course, instincts take over when it comes to him, where he's I'm going to shoot now, or I'm going to score and get involved. But it's really the creativity right now. We're talking about the layup package, but he's being creative on how he's backing guys down and getting to his spots. Mid-range turnaround pull-ups and just the finishes around the rim. But I really do think that it's the balance that is making it okay to take a 17 shot attempts in a game. If you're passing the ball and getting other people involved as well, it's okay to take your shots and just find that. But we talked about him having no wiggle and things like that. He has the wiggle right now. He has the ability to create for himself, and you're going to take that from your guard. So, I love that from Jamal. He's playing big minutes still. So, he's starting to feel good, and you're starting to see him look good in that.
Yeah. Who else you guys want to talk about tonight from the game? Who else is a standout? Yeah, I think those are the guys, honestly. Christian had a little bit of a
I thought
quieter-
Julian Strawther had a couple moments.
Julian Strawther, you're right. It was Strawther, actually.
You know
I
what
actually
I
don't have
had
the
my
box score
eye
in front of me.
Nikola Jokic.
Oh, have we not got there?
I don't know. I thought he was.
Thought we might bring
I
him
don't have
up.
my notebook.
Are you sure you don't want to
Usually I
do
have a
Julian
list-
Strawther
A list of how we want to go through this. Actually, let's do Strawther. We'll give Yoke a little more time. But Strawther, we were talking too about this. He plays with so much confidence. That's honestly the difference. Christian Brown right now plays with an enormous amount of confidence. Julian Strawther just goes out there and you would never guess that guy's in his second year trying to make a name for himself.
Dude, I think it's how he makes it.
Yeah,
Julian's
maybe.
an irrational confidence guy. If he's afraid to shoot at this level, it's not
That's
going to
true.
work out.
He had a horrible brick tonight too. Oh my god.
Yeah, but tonight 1 of 5 from 3 still gives you 15 points. I do like the way he tries to get to the lane, man, the floater and the layup. Sometimes he falls over too much and then you're just in transition the other way. But it's nice to have a guy who puts his head down and at least tries to get to the hole. Julian will do that off the bench. I think maybe tonight's not the best example. I don't know if stats reflect this. I think there are times where Julian's a very helpful defensive rebounder. There are times where he plays really hard. I think the thing to remember with Julian is, for whatever growing pains there are, I really think Julian has the right mindset. I think Julian knows the kind of pro he wants to be, knows the kind of player he wants to be, knows he has to be better on defense. Will he get there? I don't know. But Julian strikes me as a coachable player with the right mindset, and I've appreciated that through the ebbs and flows.
The only thing he sucks at, Dev, is wide open threes.
It's the only thing. It's the only thing. But he's a bucket. And I mean, you can't really teach that. It's all natural for him. And I'm gonna put the ball in the basket. And having a young guy, able to do that in their second year, that does something for you. It feels good to know that we could trust on him. He's starting to become consistent as a scorer. That it's not just relying heavily on the three ball. If and when that starts falling, that's going to open up his game even a bit more. But I just love that you could just pencil him in for double digits right now every single time off the bench and be that option with the second unit.
Yeah. You got any Julian takes from today?
No, I mean I thought he was good. I still I think I'm in your camp. I think I think they should trade Julian Strawther.
I think he's going to be good.
I do too. I just think the timeline is not right.
The timeline might suffer.
I just think that I think that they should seize this opportunity to try and get somebody that's maybe a little bit more seasoned. But because I like what I see.
But I would trade for Julian if I were in a different team on a different. You know what I mean? I would be like, hey, he's gonna.
I don't think the league kind of knows enough about Julian Strawther.
There are guys that are paid to scout the league.
I mean,
Scouts in the building tonight, I hear.
But I don't know. He's just not whatever.
Some of it is just the measurables, 6'7", can move.
Yes,
moves like a
can
smaller
shoot,
guy.
not every night,
shoot,
but
yeah.
has
got
a little bit of the juice.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of the juice for sure. Let's take another break here. On the other side, we will get to Nikola Jokic, and then later on in the show, we will talk about the big news in the NBA, which we have not talked about as a group yet. Luka Doncic getting traded. We'll give some service to that.
Oh, really?
We haven't yet. Well, I don't know if you've heard.
Man, if the roof could just cave in on you at any time, you know what I mean? One day you've got your franchise player, the next you don't. It's
true.
Don't be jocular about this.
One day you've got a roof over your head, and all right, whatever.
Don't be jocular. If I had my druthers, I'd shut you down.
You used it correctly that way.
I know.
Denver's best roofers is what we're talking about. They've joined the DNVR team. Quality materials, decades of experience, quick response time. Huge DNVR supporters.
That's the most important part.
I don't know if that does anything for you. It does a lot for me.
It does a lot for us.
That's my favorite part. But here's the real kicker. Free, no obligation roof and property inspections. Free in-depth photo reports for all inspections. You don't know how bad the damage is till you send someone up there. You don't want to pay to send someone up there if the damage is not that bad. Just send Red Hot
A lot of
Roofing
people
up
get
there.
hurt on ladders.
Yeah, man. I had not thought about it till we went up the ladder with Red Hawk Roofing that one time. I'm like, yeah, this is the whole thing, man. The whole thing that I do not want to do every day. Yeah.
They're like, just go on up, guys. Just come on up.
You're like, kind of high, though.
That's a building.
Yeah, this doesn't seem
not even a house.
secure. But it is, because they know what they're doing. Supporting your local teams means also supporting local businesses like Red Hawk Roofing. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com or call 720-771-8921 and tell them that DNVR sent you. And if you want to be a real diehard, if you want to be a real Coloradan, you got to cruise around the Colorado streets in a Toyota. Toyota's the official vehicle of DNVR. They've got trucks out there. Obviously, trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. We know that. If you're a truck person, you've got options. But they've got a lot of options. No matter what kind of Coloradan you are, and there are tons of us these days, they've got some kind of model for you. From the trucks to the low and zero emission vehicles, they offer more of those combined than any other automaker. So do yourself a favor, visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe in Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
Kale, has the chat spoken?
Chat has spoken.
What did they determine? Who did they determine deserves the game ball?
For this
I'm
one.
so ready.
I'm very nervous. I like the chat deciding this. Michael Porter Jr.
Thank
The
God.
best part is that we turn this from when we reveal it to them.
Yeah.
To now they reveal it to us.
Yeah, it's actually great. I think this is correct. I would have liked to have seen Zeke Nnaji get one, but to be honest, you get 36, 7, and 2. You get the game ball.
You do. Hey, man, it's been a minute since Porter's hit his threes.
When was the last time Porter got a game ball, to be honest with you? It's been a minute since he got the game ball.
And if we're being real, it probably still should have gone to
it was
Jokic.
probably Jokic.
We do the same. Guys, if he doesn't get it tonight, he's not getting it.
He's never
All right?
getting it.
How many times do you think
Nikola
Mike's
Jokic, another triple-double. How many is it this year? 22?
I don't know, dude.
Usually I have my notes.
I think 21. No, 23.
Not 22, though, for sure.
For sure.
For sure, it's not 22.
Ignore
Yeah,
me.
look it up for us, Gail. Yoke tonight was neither. We were talking about business-like. I do think Yoke was in a funk the last 5. Man, this is close shot here, Gail. Please zero in. Really? Not 22. 21,
Just for
maybe
sure,
23.
not 22.
For sure it wasn't. Wow.
I was just trying to get the bracket.
Also, I looked it up. Druthers is a late 19th century contraction of the word "I'd rather." So, just
Interesting. Interesting.
you can get a W on the mic like night, and an L everywhere else.
What happened?
Scott Muse didn't update tonight.
Oh, you left
How's that for a close-up?
Kale screwed something. Put it on our face.
How do you like those druthers?
That was too perfect. That laid out absolutely perfect. So Yoke, I think, has been in a funk, and I did not like his last 5 games. All 5 of them I didn't like him, even the ones that won.
Throw them out.
Tonight was not a reminder game from Yoke by any means, but it was a workmanlike. I feel like this was a workmanlike triple-double from Yoke.
Yeah, this was straight to business out there. Like, like I'm just going to dominate, I'm going to kill, I'm going to create mismatches and score on every single one of them. Like, I don't even feel like there was like a ridicule type of like play for him or like a insane, I just made that type of play on you type of game. This was, straight to the point. I liked how involved he was defensively. Like you talk about like Zion Williamson being able to get downhill and try to finish around the rim. He didn't he didn't allow that. Yves Messi had a good game against him before. He was like, no, you're not going to do that either. But like just involved, and you want to see that because it sets the tone early where you could go on these leads, and also you change their mind. So I mean, I liked that. I feel like that's what stood out for me because I've seen a lot of Olay type of defensive performances from Jokic.
I just watched Kale hover over which chat to bring up, and he brought up the one that somebody said, Kale with the W. Yep. He was like, which chat should I bring on? How about this one?
Yeah.
Dude, Kale drunk with power and booze.
You want to talk about Jokic?
Nikola Jokic, man. Yeah, I am with you about your assessment of his previous 5 games where you're like, oh, no, we're going to have to psychoanalyze Nikola Jokic. Oh, no, we're going to have to figure out what it is that's bothering our beautiful king. We're going to have to now, especially after what took place over the weekend, now we're going to start to get nervous and start to put other crazy theories out into the ether, out into the air. Nope, he just comes in. He just absolutely, like, quiet domination. Like, you just wouldn't... I didn't even realize he had a triple-double until he had one. And then, there's players that... In fact, every other player in the league, if you know that they're getting near a triple-double, it's like everybody knows it. Like, we're just like, oh, yeah, no, he's got a triple-double. That's fine. He was, I'm surprised he wasn't leading the leading scorer. He just it's crazy what Nikola Jokic is. It's just... You just can't get over the fact that it's just so easy for him. It doesn't sometimes register for you. Like, you just laugh when he just catches the ball flat-footed and just puts it up over a guy. Just goes in. We start laughing. It doesn't really register that it's worth the same amount of points as when, like, Jamal runs around 5 screens and, like, ducks around, has to hit a fall away, and that's worth 2 points also. It's just he's just so dominant. It's disgusting. I frankly feel bad for the rest of the league.
Feel bad for Yves Messi, although I don't think he really like sent a message to him today.
I already did. I feel bad for Pelicans fans. Is there a team Jokic?
Oh yeah, most triple doubles
throws through the wood chipper more often than the Pelicans.
Yeah.
And at first it was like I thought maybe just a Jonas thing, like he goes really hard at him for some reason.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't know, man. He has really destroyed this team several times. So that was one thing I really enjoyed watching it. Yeah, I'm never worried about Jokic's offense at any point ever. Body language, defense, all that kind of stuff. Even still, I think throughout Jokic's season, it's more that you sometimes get frustrated than worried. Like worried is, I'm never really worried. And how could you be? Because he's as consistent offensively as anyone I've ever seen. And it's really funny because this is a wildly inconsistent team that is just spearheaded by the most consistent player you could conceive of. And what's the result? A lot of weird losses, maybe, but you win a lot of games every year, and it's because of Jokic, of course.
I still was holding out hope he would beat Westbrook's record for triple doubles, in a season. And this little 5-game stretch he's had on, I think he's only had one in that stretch previously. So he's kind of fallen behind pace now. But I hope you have this homestand, all these home games in a row, 7 out of 8. I hope he just gets like 6 more in a row. Catch up so that we can actually. That would be a fun thing to follow down the stretch, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Jokic triple double watch. It's like it give us a little something. I will say he's only 6 away from his personal record, which is 29. I think he'll break that pretty comfortably this year, which is also kind of awesome. Let's bounce around the league now. Over the weekend, Luka Doncic gets traded to the Lakers. We did talk about this a little bit on the pregame show. Around
graphic in the business.
We haven't seen this one for a while.
I missed it so much.
Little ATA. I will say we've talked about one angle of it, so I kind of want to go a different angle.
Yeah.
And I kind of like Kevin Durant's angle on this one, to be honest. One of the things he said was everybody likes to talk about players not being loyal to their teams. Oh, bounce around and they're not loyal. But teams will trade you just like this. And he has a point because there are teams that have traded, Blake Griffin. You guys remember when Blake Griffin was at the Clippers and re-signed and they made the Nelson Mandela MLK and then Blake Griffin shirt
and then they
gave
traded
it out.
him.
We're like, you're just can be that. And then traded him 2 months later. Players of Blake Griffin's caliber this has happened to. Luka Doncic to me makes me wonder. Like I always wonder when something big like this happens, is there a new precedent that's being set? Is this part of, I think every team's trying to figure out this new CBA and how things work and player empowerment and all this different stuff that goes on. And part of me wonders, nobody's ever traded a Luka before, or at least not in the last 30 years. Nobody's traded a Luka. Is this one of those things where now players are going to get that sense that, is Giannis worried he could get traded? Or is this just such a one-off, the Nico Harrison situation, such a one-off that this is going to have no ripple effects?
No, I think that, Kevin Durant makes a great point, but also Kevin Durant is like the poster child of the opposite of this. So, like, of course he's going to say, like, you should make these type of decisions because, of course, he's supposed to say that. But, it's a great point. But also, if you see how the league is now, you think about, like, James Harden, Jimmy Butler. Like, these guys are, like, made it to where they're not going to work and just doing their job. Like, they made it so that the players have so much power that maybe this, like, puts you back in a spot of like, you know what? Maybe we need to just do what we're supposed to do because like anybody can get traded. This was truly like one of those like, wow, anybody. Because
would the Celtics trade like Jaylen Brown now? It almost makes you wonder.
You think about like other players. He's even above that.
He is
like,
way above
He's even above that. So like when I did it for nothing. So it was like more of like, okay, this is like maybe like we're trying to get some power back. To where everybody needs to be on guard. So I think that like players should be aware.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that this is ushering in a new era because it does feel like such an insane one-off, like all of the circumstances coming together. It is the most perplexing thing that I've ever experienced in the NBA. Like there are crazy trades that come about, but this is the first one that felt like just something you read on a Reddit board. That actually, if
somebody proposed it on Twitter or anywhere, you'd be like, guys, what are we doing?
What are we
Stop.
Like
2K25 rejected the trade.
I don't even know what that means, but that is funny.
2K any would reject the trade because they should have rejected. That shouldn't even been a trade to reject.
I know, but it really like trades like this. This is like pretty much without
precedent at all.
Precedent or like another even comparable trade. It just really calls into question, like, what are we doing? Like, what is this? Is this, like where the intersection of the civic, like, what do you owe to the people? What do the people owe to the team? Like, is this literally just like a little game that people are playing, both the front office and the players, and we're just observing? Is it? It's just it really just shines a big bright light on like, where are people putting all of their thoughts and belief and heart and emotions, and like, does that mean anything? It's like very existential.
I agree. This is why I bring it up, and it's one of the things I think is so interesting. When LeBron left Miami, it was such a left Cleveland. It was such a big deal because it was so strange. And Cleveland in the year prior never thought, should we find out early and if not trade him? But when LeBron left, the entire league shifted to where teams felt like if their players didn't sign an extension, that meant they were going. It meant that we have to do something because he didn't sign an extension here, so we can't just let him walk for nothing. And I just wonder if this is going to have a similar effect to where now where teams always wonder what players are actually thinking. What if players are now always going to wonder what their teams are thinking in a way that, to your point, creates an even bigger schism between players and the city for which they play?
Which is how player empowerment started to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Like just a sort of reaction to, wait, they can just trade us? Does maybe there's a full circle moment there? Maybe. It does also seem like Nico Harrison possibly did the most publicly insane thing anyone's ever done. So I don't know if this does seem like a one-off to me. Did you see, though, all the underdog fantasy updates of all the players who have been probable and doubtful ready to go the next night?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Just all the guys who have been day-to-day, like, oh, you know what? I'm actually ready to play tonight.
Well, didn't you see Chris Haynes' report that teams have adjusted their travel schedule so they're not in the air while a player is traded? This is what I mean. There's a weird...
what?
You didn't see this? Yeah.
No.
Because the trade deadline for Thursday, so multiple teams have adjusted their travel schedule to not have an awkward situation where you're in the air traveling somewhere and it's like, hey, man, did you hear you're traded? We got 3 more hours on this flight.
Here's a parachute. You're actually... you were going right over. You're in Milwaukee now. That is insane.
But I look at it this way, too, and like, look, LeBron is hilarious in that his son plays for the team. JJ Redick, his podcast buddy, is the coach, and yet he claims to have been completely blindsided. He might have been.
No. Keep going. It gets worse.
What's that?
Rich Paul.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Anthony Davis is a client
That's
of Clutch.
actually the
They all work
biggest
together.
one.
They have dinner
That
together
is-
once a week.
That is the biggest
Yeah.
one where it's like, he's like, Rich, you didn't tell me?
Like what?
You've been working on this for weeks. I know, LeBron claiming ignorance here.
This is the one thing that I like about this is that it undermines the entire idea that Clutch has any power in the league.
But they do.
But they really don't. And at a certain point, you could be like, okay, well, whatever, he's out.
I think LeBron was like, I was completely off guard, but kind of interesting. Oh, kind of fun. I'm excited.
They've been
This
coming
is
out with
pretty
like
exciting.
quotes of like LeBron and Rich Paul were impressed by like I thought you didn't know it.
Yeah. But one thing I will say is that, I mean, he has a no trade clause, but some of this does feel like the Lakers are even moving on from LeBron, or at least setting the table for them to move on from LeBron. And my point is, Luka got traded. Lakers find their LeBron replacement while LeBron's still there. Steph Curry. The Warriors are literally connected to every team in the entire, or every player
But
that's
they've called
possibly
every
there.
All-NBA player.
They're like 2 days away from being like Ben Simmons has long been on their crosshairs. So they're trying right now, and if it all goes south, the Suns might trade KD. There's reports now that the Suns are looking around going, we're not going to get rid of Beal. We're not going anywhere. They might trade KD. Steph Curry's sitting there. I mean, I don't think Steph's going anywhere. I think LeBron and KD are going to Golden State. But nonetheless, there's all these situations where you look at the Bucks, things go a little south. The Bucks might have to look around and be like, guys, we're too far away in this new CBA from building a team around Giannis. Let's get him now before anything goes. And I anticipate a world where it doesn't go full. Every star player is afraid they're going to be traded. But I do wonder if it opens the door to, hey, I don't know, it happens.
Yeah. This is my question. Sorry to not respond to that.
That's
but
fine.
I've had plenty of barbershop like argument like about this.
Yeah.
Same.
Like that a lot of them are like not even real. So like you just hear like I heard this. So I haven't been into like the like what actually was there transparency here of like why they got rid of Luka? Like was there anything along the lines of like we didn't like that he did this or that? Like was that apparent or like was that brought up and said?
They're saying they don't like the conditioning and the lack of
He's not
conditioning.
Did they
serious.
say that,
Not
though?
serious.
Yeah, he said that in his
Yeah, Nico
presser. I
Harrison
mean,
said that. Or
defense wins championships, and that's, you know.
So like that should be what everybody is wanting to like do. Like you have to play better defense. You have to, you know, take your body seriously. There's so many players in the league, and it's going away from like why people don't want to watch the league anymore. They want to see like competitive games. They want to see, you know, guys in tip-top shape and play throughout the entire year of that, where you're not just getting ready for the playoffs. Then you go into the playoffs and like Luka was great, but in the playoffs it looks a lot different. So I do think that like diminishes like the view of him to his organization, to like the fan base and things like that. So like I like that there was. I wish that I seen that, but I think that there should be transparency to like stars, players, guys in the league know, like, we are taking this a little bit more serious.
We got Harrison, I believe. I think I heard him calling in live from the Ball Arena. I'm curious if Yoke spoke. Find out. Welcome him in, the man with the wind in his hair, Harrison Wind. What's going on, brother?
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Where are you at?
I'm in like one of the tunnels because they got some kids playing on the court and like blasting really annoying music.
Okay.
He has children.
This looks like
I
you're
tried
filming.
to find a more quiet place to do this from, so I'm kind of in one of the tunnels right now.
Camera works amazing.
I know this looks like the movie Birdman, which was very
holding the cam himself.
very anxiety inducing. Go ahead.
Well, I'm very curious what Michael Malone, I know, saw some of the quotes that you were putting out, so I'm curious what he had to say here on this trade deadline week.
Yeah, well, he was asked about, the trade deadline indirectly. Oh, come on through. Yep. No worries. No worries. No worries. Thanks for keeping the arena so clean.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Come on.
He was asked about the trade deadline, and it was a question posed to him about like, have you, been talking to Mike at all with some of the trade rumors out there? And he said, "Look, I don't have a need to talk to Mike because we're not trading him. I haven't really gotten any inclination or any word from the front office that that's even a possibility. So I haven't had those conversations with him because we're not dealing him." And of course, this comes after a monster Mike game, double-digit three-point attempts, probably one of his best game, if not his best game of the season. So very definitive for Michael Malone. We're not trading Mike. And then Michael Porter was even asked about it, and he said, yeah, I haven't gotten any, feeling at all or any word at all that they might look to trade me. So doesn't seem like it's even something that the Nuggets are considering at all.
Well, good. I mean, that's kind of cool to hear, but maybe calm some nerves around Ball Arena.
Yeah, maybe. But Michael Malone was hyped after this game. He kind of shouted out everybody on the roster, and especially Zeke Nnaji, who won his second straight Defensive Player of the Game chain tonight.
Hell yeah.
Second straight. For his work guarding Zion Williamson. That's why Zeke was in the starting lineup tonight, to guard Zion. And Michael Malone said he did a great job. And, I'd agree. I thought Zeke played a pretty good game, all things considered. Coming off the bench, not really playing much outside of that last game. And, oh, yeah, you get to guard Zion tonight.
Tough assignment, man. He did a great job. Really, really good showcase game from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Michael Malone shouted out, everybody else too. Joker, Michael Porter, obviously, and Julian Strawther. He said, look, I was calling plays for Julian when he was 0 for 4. And I kept calling plays for him. And he made some shots. So he liked how Julian chipped it off the bench too.
He loves Julian.
He really does love Julian. Awesome.
Yeah. And then we spoke to Mike. Joker hasn't spoken yet, but we just spoke to Mike.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. And, Mike said, look, my body felt really refreshed coming off that road trip. Like, I feel really good health-wise right now. And he felt like his energy was great going into this game, and that was part of the reason why he had such a big night. He was asked about Porter quarters, actually. And if he likes Porter quarters because, yeah, he has a good quarter, but it also might mean that he goes quiet for the other quarters.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I just kind of wish I had, those throughout a whole game. But tonight was definitely a game where, like, the Nuggets were finding him. Like, he stayed engaged and involved throughout the whole game. It was one of those rare ones where he didn't go quiet after a big quarter tonight.
What do you think it was? Why?
I don't know, man. I mean, he was obviously hot. We've seen that many times. It seemed like Jamal wasn't really a big focal point tonight. And he kind of stepped back, from the spotlight a little bit and let Mike have it. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a big part of it.
Yeah. And maybe no Russ, AG. Those are guys that usually get a handful of shots themselves. So, fewer guys to really hunt for. Maybe that's it.
For sure. And then lastly, Mike just talked about Zeke and how happy he was for Zeke in this game. And he said that Zeke Nnaji has taken the title as the hardest working guy on the team. He's
Wow.
taken it from him as the hardest working guy on the team.
Wow, it's impressive, man. That's impressive.
What a teammate. Michael
And he
teammate
said, like,
Jr.
look, he goes like, look, Zeke is always the one who's finding these crazy gyms to work out in on road trips at night and whatnot. And he really puts in the work behind the scenes. So Mike was really happy for Zeke and said, like, look, Zeke, he can find a role on any team in this league, but he just needs to be put in the right position.
Michael Promoter Jr.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And last thing from Mike, I asked him about the Luka trade, and he said like he was as shocked as anybody about it. And then he said like something doesn't sit right with me about it. He's very curious about the trade. Was maybe going to go into conspiracy corner a little bit. He's very curious about some of the inner workings of that deal as well.
Oh,
Very curious.
I love this. Hold on. You can't just tease that. Like, how curious is he?
Could it be linked to the vaccine? Do we know?
I think what he said, I don't want to misquote him. I think what he said is it didn't sit right with me.
Hey, I think I
Dude,
agree.
is there a single human that it is sitting right with?
It literally didn't sit right with anybody.
Nico Harrison, apparently.
Not even him.
He didn't look like he was sitting that right.
All right, well, get down there and get Joker. We want to know what he has to say about Luka.
All right. See you guys.
Get him to tell us F the Lakers. Oh, he's gone. Nobody. He's the dev of signing off of the call-ins here. Do we have some super chats, Skill? Quite a few.
Dude, the people are feeling we're streaking.
Streaking, baby. Gosh, it's so nice when you're streaking.
It's so good to
I
streak.
love to streak. Jeremy, J-Rock, Michael, MPJ, Zeke, DJ, Toolbox, Zion going to In and Out. All right.
He looked trim.
It was pretty good.
He looked trim. He just sucked at basketball.
Goatee's a good look. Roly poly. Malone made a mistake all along. Zeke is best in 4.
Maybe.
I mean, he's definitely best. He's not. He's not a center.
I also got to play with Yoke tonight. Look good.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Because he was a 4.
Well,
Big Honey. Zeke the victory card. Wow. Really, though. He shut down Zion, Defensive Player of the Year.
This is true. They're undefeated.
when he starts.
Everybody
Maybe that
knows
was
it.
what the real card
But
was saying.
everybody's talking about it.
Zeke got the Defensive Player of the Game last time as like hey, kid. There you go. Two
Tonight,
times in a row.
He earned it tonight.
No, tonight, I mean, no one wants to get in front of Zion, man, when he's driving to the rim. That doesn't look fun at all. Josh Bennett from down under. Kill! Fire up the mic is backometer.
No.
Wrong choice of words.
No.
It's the
Mike
Mike
has
has returned. Mike has
returned.
returned-o-meter.
Has Mike returned, Ometer?
He's so returned.
He's risen.
Cedric, exquisite. No Vogt, no Eric, no Adam, no Kale, no Dev. We keep an MPJ. But if we did get Bogey somehow, wouldn't you love his fellow Olympian with him? Hashtag, yeah, Mike.
We are never trading MPJ.
But if we did.
But if we did. It's like OJ's book. If I did it.
Bogey's not playing right now. Bogey's not playing right
Is that
now.
dodgeball? Just kidding, though. But not really. But I am. All right, FBCA. MPJ, Straw, Nnaji stock just went up. Get them out while they're hot. Oh, man. By the way, 20 more open threes. Coach problem. Good win.
I know, yeah.
Michael Porter, truther. Call a doctor. It's going to be over 4 hours. Come on.
Dang.
Michael, fill in the blanker Jr. Bosanak, unlike Luka, my glorious king, Zeke the Freak is truly untouchable.
Untouchable.
Dude.
Dean-
Like in a caste system. He's
A leper.
Dean
He's an
Shortgrass. We
untouchable.
all miss Russ, but good to remember that Jamal and Jokic are the core of this team and must always be. And only 5 turnovers total as a team.
That's nice. I'm telling you, I hope that this is a little Murray and Yoke chemistry stint. That's what this chapter, I hope it's about.
damn
Another
another
chapter,
chapter. I mean,
huh?
what chapter book are we
With a
on?
footnote for
13.
Zeke, but it's a chapter's about something else. Jackson, will Luka lose the Supermax, cause other
Yes.
players to take conditioning seriously, and will perform better so that doesn't happen to them?
No.
No, probably not. But maybe.
Good question, though.
But maybe, man.
100 million? I would take it pretty serious.
I honestly don't know what I would do with 350 million, but instead of 250 million, I don't know what the extra 100 million gets me.
Another boat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't. In my mind, I can't conceptualize like that extra 100 million.
Let's just ask Josh next time we see him.
He can't either.
He doesn't
counts
even
in the
know.
billions.
He's like, why you just get milk with that?
It's a
right?
yacht.
You get a
How much
gallon
could
of
it
milk.
count?
Yeah.
100 million? I have no idea.
The old Nuggets
12.
fan. Jokic equals Joker. Strawther equals the Scarecrow. Curious Mike equals the Riddler. The Blue Arrow from the Frozen North equals Mr. Freeze. AG equals Bane. Let's
These are all
go.
Batman.
I don't
I
know.
just hate that they
don't
don't ever give Penguin his due.
Penguin?
Yeah,
he's
you're right. You're
dope.
right. Who's Penguin?
He's a famous villain.
Zeke?
I know Penguin. Danny
Penguin?
DeVito.
Well, he
Also-
already gave names.
Also, that person completely abandoned the ye old-timey Nuggets bit for that super chat. I just want to say. I was expecting.
I know
Maddox-
for a Batman.
Yeah, yeah. It's just crossing wires. Was that Cedric? Maddox, not an overreaction. Zeke can be a situational player in the playoffs. He can be the 10th guy you bring in for a new look. Hashtag @Nag.
I love how quickly we can.
We going 10
It's
deep in the
the
playoffs.
best.
It's
dude.
the best.
Dude, this is what it is to be a fan. Like 2 days ago, Zeke, worst player,
Yeah.
hilarious joke. You bring him up, everyone will be like, ah.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Maybe.
Could he win a series for us?
Worst nightmare. No backometer. No Josh. No Booth. Keep MPJ. And maybe Z.
Maybe.
James Jimmy, Nuggets Reddit, been screaming into the void for 3 seasons that Nnaji has to play power forward next to a center to be effective.
we said that too, but then we just stopped talking about Zeke entirely.
We really did. Genuinely nice people. We're going Zeke.
We're going Zeke.
Let's go with Zeke and that's solid. I'm not gonna lie.
Mr. Exquisite Nugget, MPJ Redemption Night, vote for you. Luka, a future Nug? I think, unfortunately, Luka is a future Laker.
Yeah.
Peter Duck, I like when ball go and hoop for us and not them.
Yeah, that's how it happened tonight.
Hell
My
yeah,
favorite.
And the chat you've all been waiting for. 5555555-ish. That was the Zekiest Zeke game to ever Zeke in the Zekeverse.
Oh, yeah.
173 minutes,
173
33
is
seconds
a
down.
lot.
Only 381 minutes and
Yeah.
27
Well,
seconds till
that's a lot.
555 minutes. Rake in order of surprise factor. Luka trade, great Zeke game, Wizards winning 2 games in a row.
I would do Luka, then I would go Wizards winning 2 games.
Yeah, I would
in a row.
agree. I would agree.
I agree with your order.
Actually, you got it in order. Great,
It's the right
great,
order.
great
come on.
Zeke.
A
game.
great Zeke game?
A great.
Great.
I feel it. It's coming, you guys. It's coming.
Michael,
And also, that is a lot of minutes down, and he might get another one.
Oh, please.
I mean,
Michael Porter Truther. I love this guy because you know how hard you have to work to find propaganda that I'm not latching onto. MPJ, same career minutes as Jalen Green, by the way. Like that one.
that actually feels way off. It feels like he's
hold
been in the
on.
league way longer than Jalen
But
Green.
yeah, what is this hinting to?
Well, if we pretend that Jalen Green still has upside untapped,
I think he's trying to
Perhaps
say that
Michael Porter.
Porter's played a lot actually,
I mean,
which is
Jalen
true.
Green
oh, wait, he's trying to
See?
say he's played a lot.
You
I
see,
think,
we
right?
have two completely different interpretations of that. I
I
don't
don't
know
say he
what
hasn't played very much at all. Jalen Green barely been in the league.
I need to know what the
Yeah,
meaning
pretty
behind
young.
this is.
I think he's trying to say that Porter's played more than you think.
I think it's wild that he's sat
Oh wait, no,
there
you're right. I have this backwards.
and thought Jalen Green and
I have
Michael
this
Porter
backwards.
Jr.
He's trying to say that Porter has time to grow.
A super chat's so good it means something different to everyone.
Just like
It
the
also is
Bible.
pretty simple. I messed it up. Yeah.
Bible verses.
What the H?
All right. Anyway, Porter, it's true. He's not played a ton. Big Honey. Someone in the chat said when MPJ is hot, we win easy. My note is Mike is hot.
Hell yeah, dude.
The old Nuggets fan. MPJ for Levine? Pshaw. I wouldn't trade MPJ for Jesus in his prime plus
Whoa.
300 Spartans plus all the Wizards' first round picks. Pshaw, I say. Pshaw. We went back to the
Back
bed.
to the bit, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, how do you return to the bit after going full Batman?
You know, a win is cool, but the fact that Booth didn't trade for Fox, Levine, and Luka is pathetic. Get off your ass, Booth. Am I doing this right?
Yeah,
Gen X Mutt. Zeke going to get more run. Come on, Zeke. By the way, at New York Knicks, 12, 4, 20, 21. Zeke
Yeah.
goes for 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 9 from
All right, so
three.
that's his best game.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah,
either.
it says 21.
He scored 21 points.
21
once?
points, 8 rebounds, man. That was a big game. 5 and 9 for 3 is crazy.
Dude, there have been times where we were like,
He's a shooter.
which is in general, we're like, Zeke, he's got a little something.
Amy P. The joke saw Zeke playing defense. That is why Jokic played defense too.
Hey, I'm with it.
Zeke Nnaji very truly has great defensive shuffling feet. He truly does change things. It's crazy. I mean, there's honestly there's a reason why he got the contract he did. Like, he was playing well enough that at least, whether justifiable or not, it was like you could at least Calvin in his own mind could make the argument that he deserved it. Like, Zeke has shined. He has had moments where he looks like this.
I think his confidence swings are bigger than most people's, man. Like, his confidence really, really took a hit.
Yeah, it is true. Easy E, we must never, ever take Jokic's greatness for granted.
The chat did tonight. They did not vote for him game ball.
Oh, no.
And Adam pushed him to the last player we talked about.
I forgot about that.
You saved the best for last. Everybody knows that.
Dude, literally the day after this whole Luka fiasco where we have to talk about how we need to appreciate him more, never take it for granted.
He's the GOAT. What do you want me to say? He's the GOAT.
That sounds like taking it for granted. That's fine.
Yeah.
Kyle M. Hey, Adam.
Hey, I mean, I got one from somebody besides Cedric.
This is a buy Adam, though.
That said hi, Adam.
But it should be a buy Adam.
All right, hit that outro music, Kale. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. It was a fun one.
It was a fun one. Dude, it's fun to win, is it not?
It is fun to win. I
point.
expect more fireworks in the next 48 hours. How many hours to the deadline? What is today? Monday?
Monday.
We got Tuesday, Wednesday, and then half of Thursday. I expect some pretty exciting couple of days. We're going to shepherd you through all of it. Rumors, everything else. We'll see what happens.
Bro, I honestly feel like a dog on 4th of July. I'm like,
fireworks?
I'm not ready for it. Like, I don't understand what's happening. The fireworks are too big. I'm soiled myself.
Just like a dog. Everybody hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you.
We all silly like the mayor.